Happy Sunday, Tampa Bay. We're with you for another week here on the Duncan Duo Real Estate Show. I'm Andrew Duncan, your host here every Sunday. And today I've got an exciting crew of guests from Renters Warehouse to talk to us about property management. The rental population is booming around the U.S. More than 22 million more renters now than a decade ago. Rising rent prices and many homeowners and investors here in Tampa and around the country setting their sights on the rental property market. So what do you need to think about before you cash in? That's what we're going to cover in today's show. We've got three rental experts with us today from Renters Warehouse to share some of that advice. We have Donovan Reese, Matt Levitt, and Tampa's own Rick Bechtold with us. And thank you guys for coming into the studio and talking to us. Donovan's the president of sales for Renters Warehouse. Matt is the regional vice president of sales for the Eastern region. And Rick is the general manager of Renters Warehouse right here in Tampa. So a lot of people that listen to 970 have probably heard you guys' radio ads. You guys made a nice splash in the market. And Donovan, you know, I think it'd be great for our listeners to know a little bit about, you know, why Renters Warehouse started, a little bit of the background of the company, so that if there is someone out there thinking about the rental property path, that they know a little bit more about the company.
Yeah, first I want to start off and just thank you for having us on the show and being a partner with you guys.
Glad to do it.
Very excited for the partnership here. So, kind of going back, Renters Warehouse was started in 2007 by a gentleman named Brenton Hayden. He capitalized on an opportunity, and at that point it was in Minneapolis, and identified a need for a property management solution for individual property owners. We really started off targeting the accidental or unintentional landlord, and it's really just blossomed from there. So now we're expanding into 32 markets in 18 states, and really targeting both them and now more of the intentional landlords as well.
And you guys have over 15,000 properties in management and growing. And one of the things that I think was powerful when I heard you guys come into the market, I have friends around the country that are real estate agents and brokers that advertise a lot like I do. And you guys started this expansion, you know, when you're moving into these other markets. And it's exciting because you're right. There is a void. And not only is there a void nationally, but there's a void in Tampa of great property management companies. So I'm excited because there are a lot of smaller companies with less resources that, you know, that don't have the capabilities that you guys have, but also, you know, that being an entrepreneur and a business person, knowing that you're specializing in that space means you're going to do it really well, and you're going to scale some things and have resources that other smaller companies, you know, just simply can't have. And it's exciting to have met you guys, and I think that you know, people out there listening, there are a lot of people in our market that are the accidental landlord, but there's also the people that now you guys branching into some, you know, opportunities with people that own lots and lots of rental properties. So there's opportunities that you guys have for people out there that own 20 or 30 or 40 rentals that some companies just couldn't handle, couldn't manage. And your size allows you the capability of really scaling and managing just about anything in that realm.
Yeah, that's a big thing with moving forward is really the scalability, and we're very excited about our portfolio services division that we recently opened and have some fantastic talent in there to really help us scale that up. But we're able, really excited to be able to bring that same level of care and service to that individual homeowner. So whether you have one home or 1,000 homes with us, you'll get that consistent level of service, and especially on a national level. Then.
Yeah, and I like the peace of mind, part about your bio. People moving into this realm to say, you know what, I'm gonna rent out my house, or I'm gonna buy a rental property. They've always got these fears, and the small mom and pop property management company can't always instill that kind of peace of mind. But a humongous corporation like yours that's done it over and over and over again in all these different markets. You've come across every possible challenge that you can come across. You've learned from it, and probably we could probably tell some funny stories about things you've come across. But that prepares you for managing their property that someone who manages 20 or 30 properties just could never know how to do.
Absolutely. Although I say, every time I've seen everything, something else comes up.
We can probably do a whole show. We can do a whole show about the funny stories I'm sure you guys have seen.
Yeah, never a dull moment in property management. But the nice thing, I think, with us really is, we don't have everything figured out, obviously, but have really been able to, get a lot of that done already. And so we're big on systems. And so it's replicatable, and so you also know what you're getting. When I got into this business, and looking specifically in the markets I was in, I realized that a lot of property management companies, their marketing is really to scare you and say, well, these horrible tenants, and we've taken
No,
a
no
different.
question about it.
Yeah.
And I see it all the time. It's fear mongering them into believing that they need to hire them and they need to do these other things or they need to pay more money. There's no question about that. That's a marketing tactic that's used out there a lot. You guys, I like it because it's more of a positive embrace and that we can make you more money. You know?
Absolutely, and it really is, if done correctly, very, very simple. And so we've just taken that approach with it. But it starts with finding the right tenants, and that's, obviously, part of the process. But we really specialize in finding good tenants. And people ask me all the time, how do you manage properties for $99? And I say two things. One is volume, and two, place good tenants. And
Yeah.
so we do a great job of screening them. The other nice thing what we do is we'll do a 100-point background check, and then we present all of that background information to our clients, to the homeowners, and they actually get to make the decision. So we're very, very transparent in what we do with the business, and the homeowner's still in control and gets to make all the decisions just with our insight and professional.
And I love the statistics, 17 days average tenant placement time. I mean, so that's the other fear, that people have. And obviously, you guys being able to show that over historic time frame, someone that's looking at renting their home and they're like, oh, am I going to eat month after month after month after month after mortgage? And, an average tenant placement time in 17 days says, no, you're not. Now that, obviously, we all know in the real estate business, in the sales or the property management business, you're marketing a property to consumers. And yeah, there's some that are eyesores or in bad parts of town that take a little bit longer. But ultimately, 17 days to turn around is incredible.
And that's a pretty conservative number. In a lot of markets, we're 7 days or less.
Yeah.
But Rick and his team here do a great job of pricing the properties correctly, and we reinvest in marketing these properties too. So we're driving tens of thousands of tenant leads per month. So that's the other nice thing too, is with investing that much in the tenant side of it, is we're able to find high quality tenants still in that same time period there. So we have 98% of our tenants pay on time. We have less than 0.1%. So really with us, and again, our goal is just to make it very, very simple, easy to work with, and very transparent.
I love the the fastest growing element of you guys' company. We were in the Inc. We got ranked in the Inc. awards, and I've seen you guys in the Inc. 5000, the Inc. 500 multiple times. And you're not growing a fast company today without a focus on technology. And the amount of advertising you guys do for a property, the hundreds of websites that it goes on, the dialing in that all the things that get the tenant interested in the property. It sounds like you guys have done a really good job of that, because within a day of the agreement, you're getting the property out to hundreds of websites.
Yeah, we have some proprietary software that we're investing in, and also a lot of different technology as well, which is really the exciting thing. I think that gives us a leg up over a lot of the competition, is that we have the resources to be able to really reinvest in the business, and in a way that we can sustain the growth and the scalability too. So,
and I love that, because everything's gone online today. I mean, the tenants, the buyer, it doesn't matter what you're doing in real estate. People are going online, and I can tell you, there's property management companies locally that really don't use that technology. They're relying on old school methods that still do provide some value. There's no question that people still call them for rent signs and some of these types of things that they work. But if that's all they're doing, then they're leaving stones uncovered. They're leaving opportunities on the table for their prospective landlords by not marketing it in those specific places. So the technology is a big thing, and you guys, the markets that you guys are in, the size that you've grown to. I think the thing that could get lost in this conversation is sometimes a consumer that's out there thinking about hiring a property manager. One of the things that kind of gets lost in that is you guys having that central processing of background check, of document follow-up, of contractors, all these different things that as a larger company you're able to do a better job of controlling those costs. So when people say, well, hey, how can you do it for $99 a month? That just doesn't seem right because all these other property managers charge more. It's because those other property managers haven't invested that money into the infrastructure that you guys have to keep those costs lower and to streamline. Instead of having all these different people in all these different areas, you've got kind of a central processing. It's similar to, there's a lot of other large companies that have followed trends like that, but no one's done it in property management. So that's one of the ways that you're able to, comfortably say, yeah, we can get your property rented for $99 a month.
Absolutely. We found property management to be a very antiquated and segmented, industry, and so to be able to bring it all together in a, and to offer the centralized services, and it really does provide a much higher caliber level of service with a lot more transparency too. So I think a lot of it, what I found is just a lot of people have never challenged the model before. It's worked as it's worked for decades.
Yeah.
And so it's exciting to be, on the front line of this and to be able to really create change and be able to provide, again, just a better, more standardized level of service.
Well, I like it. I consider us to be a disruptor in the local real estate market, and I think you guys are a disruptor in the national real estate market in a good way, because you're forcing change to an industry that's been, quite honestly, relatively backward for a long time, that needs innovation, that needs technology, that needs these kinds of resources so consumers can get better service. And it's cool because, I look at some of the stuff you guys are doing, and I'm like, well, why didn't someone think of that soon? I mean, genius, great ideas, and I think there's no question it's going to lead you guys to have a lot of great success in Tampa. And we're going to be back after the break. We're going to continue this, conversation. We're talking to Renters Warehouse, renterswarehouse.com. Donovan Reese, Matt Levitt, and Tampa's own Rick Bechtold are executives and team members at Renters Warehouse, and we're talking about property management. We'll make sure to put these all the segment of our show and the videos up on our social channels. So make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at The Duncan Duo, as well as our YouTube, youtube.com/The Duncan Duo, and The Duncan Duo Show on Facebook. We'll put these segments up, so if you're someone thinking about renting a property, you can make sure to get their contact information. You can go online on their website at renterswarehouse.com and get a free rental evaluation. And then we're going to continue this conversation with Renters Warehouse after a quick break here on The Duncan Duo Show.